Welcome to the Circuit of Success. I am your host, Brett Gilliland, and I've got the privilege to interview Josh Yaro. Josh, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm great. You are. We've interviewed Cardinal players. We've interviewed, Blues people. We've interviewed all sorts of athletes and business leaders, but you're the first professional St. Louis City soccer player that I've got to interview. So it's a big deal. It's awesome. And you guys are having a great year.
Wow. Yeah, thank you. Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me on the show. And yeah, it's been a good year. It's been a good year. I think started the season off really well, and we've maintained that. Really excited to see how the end of the season goes for us, and make the playoffs and make a run for a title.
That's right. That'd be awesome, man. So maybe for our listeners that don't know who you are, if you could give us a little background. What's made you the man you are today? I know you grew up in Ghana, came here to college, and then went to Georgetown and had a great college career. But if you could give us a little background of who you are today.
Yeah, I grew up in Ghana. I actually went to, I don't think a lot of people know this, but I actually went to high school in the States.
Okay.
Grew up in Ghana, came to the States when I was 15. So came to high school at a private boarding school in Santa Barbara, California. So came as a sophomore, did that for 3 years, ended up at Georgetown, played at Georgetown for 3 seasons. So I was there for 2.5 years. And then in 2016, I got drafted to Philadelphia Union. So, and I've been playing since then. So that's like the shortest, who I am and my time past, 15 years.
Yeah. So what was it like growing up in Ghana, and when did you get introduced to the game of soccer and know that that's what you were going to do for a living, hopefully?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was great. Obviously, growing up around family in a place that I'm really familiar with. Life was good. Life was great. And I mean, everyone that grows up in Ghana, every kid plays the same sport, which is soccer. For me, it was really strange when I came to the US. In high school, when kids were playing 3 different sports a year. And that's something that I wasn't used to, because when you grew up in Ghana, you play only one sport year round, and that's soccer. That's all there is. I started playing when I was about 4 years, and then later on, I joined an organized team, and then right around when I was 11, I joined an academy team called the Right to Dream Academy, and that's where after joining the academy, because to be able to get into the academy is really difficult. I mean, you have to try out, and there's thousands of kids, and in the end, only 16 of us were selected. So at that point, I knew, that I had what it took to become a professional, and I just worked my way up. But then again, it's difficult, because every kid in Ghana that plays soccer is dreams of becoming a professional athlete, and so the competition is high. But I think I was fortunate that I found myself in with my academy and the teammates around me, and the development that I had growing up, contributed hugely to who I am today.
Yeah, what we were just talking about this today at lunch. Some guys, a group of us went to lunch, and we were talking about at what point does somebody say, "Yeah, I'm a defensive player, or I'm an offensive player," right? What do you remember that time frame where they said, "Okay, you're going to be a center back, and you're going to play defense. You're not going to go score goals and do all those things"?
Yeah, I do, because the first position I picked is what I play now, and I've played it my whole life. So a lot of kids usually, I mean, when you're growing up, a lot of kids usually just play wherever and kind of figure it out as they go. And I picked one and I stuck with it. So I've played the same position my whole life, which is crazy. But yeah, I've enjoyed it, and I think I know a lot of friends that used to be center mates and are now center backs, or used to be strikers and are now playing as center mates or defenders, and they're all over the place. But from day one, I just picked, this is the position I want, and I stuck with it, and I stuck with it my whole life.
Yeah. So happy you did, and would you recommend that for players now? Or do you think it's good to bounce around? Because I
think it's good to bounce around, because again, you get experience in different positions, and you get to learn different positions. Every position is unique and has a different skill set. So yeah, just trying different things, because it also helps you figure out, okay, which one am I really good at, and what are my strengths, and where is the best position. And so yeah, I definitely would encourage kids that are growing up to try different positions. I actually did try a few other positions when I was growing up. Played it a few times, and I think
it's not for me.
Yeah.
Well, that center back's a big job, man, because you're the last line. You're the last line of defense here before you leave the goalie on his own, don't you?
Yeah, no, I mean, again, a lot of people look at it like you don't run as much as maybe your midfielders or the guys in front of you, but it's tough because the example I always give is that if you are a striker and you lose the ball, you have your midfielders, you have your defenders, and you have your keeper to make a play, so that doesn't result in a goal. If you're a midfielder, you have your defender and you have your goal to make a play. If you are a center back and you make a mistake, well, your only hope is the goalie.
Yeah.
Like the further back you go, it becomes a lot more risky. Same thing for goalies. Like goalie makes a mistake, like
nobody
gets covered. So it's a tough position in that sense. Mentally, just you make a mistake, you have to move on, and it's a really tough position. But at the same time, I think I always make the joke that some of the smartest players in soccer play as center backs. Is that a fact? I don't know. I don't think so. But that's really what I believe because it's a tough position just mentally.
Yeah. So you were saying about telling kids, and what advice would you have for those kids? I think about I've got 4 boys, and they all play soccer, and soccer season is going on right now. And so, what advice would you have for kids now to continue to get better, but also to challenge themselves and some daily habits they need to be focusing on?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just developing at your own pace because it's just like in life. You look at people that you start with, you might be on the same team, you might be the same age group, and everyone's development is different. Some people it's an upward development and you just keep going up. Others it's taking 2 steps and then maybe 1 step back, and that's okay. Just don't look at other people's development and get discouraged by that. As long as you show up every day, you listen to your coaches, you take criticism well, and you put in the work. Because I think sometimes people think it's easy, just walk on the field and things are going to happen. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. And as long as you have the work ethic, because everything else, will come. If you are dedicated enough, if you have the work ethic, yeah, you might not be good at something, but if you work at it diligently, you're going to become better at it. And just being honest with yourself as well. Because you have to at some point realize what your skill sets are, what you're really good at. Not saying you limit yourself, but working well with your strengths and things that are weakness or it's seen as a weakness, work on that to help it become a strength. It might not be your strength, but at least you work on it to make it better for yourself. And the important thing, especially for kids, just enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, when they enjoyment, even at this level, I know it's my job, to go out there and perform and win games and do all that. But if you're not enjoying it, I mean, it's miserable. And it becomes really, okay, I have to go to training. Oh, there's another game. But if you can wake up every day and enjoy it, have a smile on your face while you do it, makes a huge difference. So for kids, I always tell kids, just enjoy it, enjoy the process, enjoy the learning process, enjoy the hard work, embrace the hard times, and just figure things out as they come.
Well, I love you said enjoy the hard work, enjoy the process, right? And enjoy even sometimes nobody wants to mess up, but I think we put so much pressure on ourselves, don't we, that hey, I mess up and I think it's going to be perfect, or I got to go do this many goals or this many saves, whatever it may be. Just try to enjoy that process, like you're saying. It's huge.
Yeah, because I mean, the only way you really learn is making mistakes. And it's just like in life. The older you get, you learn things that maybe when you were 20 you didn't know. But at 30, you know those things because it comes with experience. And the only way you get experience is by making mistakes. I think we often see mistakes as these horrible things, and they are bad. I mean, I don't want to make a mistake in the game because then that leads to the team losing or something like that. But at the end of the day, yeah, mistakes are going to happen. It's just how you react to it and how, the direction after that. Are you going to learn from your mistakes or is it going to cripple you? And if you're able to learn from your mistakes and move on, now you have something that you didn't have before, which is experience. And that's huge.
So what do you do outside of practice, now, but also even as a kid and whether you're high school or college? I mean, obviously the coaches, hey, be here from this time to this time, but there's more than just that, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's more. I mean, even now, you look at it, it's the time that I spend at work, it's or practicing, it's just a fraction of my time in the day. Yeah, and I think as athletes, we're much more than what you see out there just on the field. It's everyone is unique in their own ways, and I I tend to when and it's changed various parts of my life. Obviously, in high school and college was different, and when I started playing, because I was doing college, so I'd go to Boston in high school later in the day. Now I'm done with college, so most of the time I'll come home, relax for a bit, watch TV, sometimes read, sometimes do some work for my foundation, which I work with back in Ghana. But most of the time it's just relaxing and taking care of my body, because you quickly realize that you need your body to work.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you do from a recovery standpoint? How do you spend those times?
So recovery. I mean, we have the one thing that I'm fortunate, and everyone on the team is really fortunate to have. It's the amount of help that we have outside the field. We have trainers, we have you know chiropractors, we have doctors, we have every possible thing you could possibly think of for recovery. So we have the ice baths, we have cryotherapy, we have massage therapists, we have chiropractors. It's a lot of things that you can do to make sure that your body's taken care of. So it's been great that way. I do most of my stuff usually at the training facility, because I have that at my disposal.
Right.
Yeah, but again, it's crazy how much sports science plays into what we do now. Because you look back even like 10, 15, 20 years ago, athletes didn't have what we have now in terms of sports science. And now everything is down to a science, which is good, because that means you can play for much longer than you used to. Your body's stronger and recovers a lot quicker because they're added to help you as an athlete.
I think Tom Brady helped with that, right? Whether people like him or don't like him. I mean, it's you see the massage, the stretching, the whatever he calls it, his movement type stuff versus just going in and throwing weights around a weight room. That's important, but there's also all the other stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah. I mean, again, like he's a prime example. You look at someone like even Cristiano Ronaldo. And he's 38 now and still performing. And I think a large part of it's just has to do with sports science. Your body and the way you recover, the way you sleep, like everything is monitored now, and you can actually have a lot of information about your body and how your body is working and responding and all that stuff. And that's amazing, to me. Yeah. And we are fortunate here, at the city, that we have a lot of knowledgeable people that help us with that. So really fortunate.
Big investment. Cold plunge never gets easier, does it? It's terrible.
No. It's again, I see all these videos of people that can go into cold plunges and I'm talking like extremely cold plunges for a long time, and I'm going, nah, that's not it. I'm in there for like 8 to 12 minutes. I'm out.
So you still go 8 to 12 minutes in a cold plunge at what temperature?
I mean, usually it's not that bad. I have to look at what they said I was cheaper. I mean, anywhere like 50 maybe.
Yeah, 50. It's cold, and it's cold. I do them here and there, and it's just brutal. It never gets easier. But man, you feel like $1 million when you get out of that thing, don't you?
It does help. It does. I mean, your body, like the second you get out, you can feel the difference between when you got out. Like it's amazing how it works, And for us, like sometimes especially after games, when you play games, you don't really realize that you have bruises or anything like that. And then the day after, 2 days after, you go and go, oh my God, it's sore here, it's sore there. But when you go into an ice bath, for instance, like all those bruises that you didn't realize you had are taken care of, because when you have a bruise, you ice it. And so it does help a lot, in a lot of ways. I think the science behind it helps you sleep better and it helps recovery. It's pretty good.
How about saunas? You believe in saunas?
Not a big fan. We have that at the facility, but I have never really been into saunas.
You're like, it's too damn hot.
I mean, I would do like the cold tub and the cryo chamber, which pretty much gives you the same benefits as going into an ice bath.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not big on songs.
Yeah.
Maybe
All right. I like them. I like it. I like going in them, but they're I like that over the cold. But I know the cold I can do it in like 4, 5, 6 minutes. But so let's turn the page a little bit. Obviously, big news in MLS this year with Messi joining. I'm sure you're tired of talking about that or somebody asking about it. But when you hear that news, man, what's that like as an MLS player that hears one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player in the history of soccer, is coming to play with y'all?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like people talk about it a lot, and rightfully so because it's a big moment in the history of the league, and I mean, it just goes to show you how the steps that the league has taken and how far the league has come. When the league started, again, I don't think anyone ever thought we'd get to get to this point, and it's come so far that and kudos to everyone that was involved in making that happen. Because as you know, he had other options that he could have taken easily, but to make MLS appealing to someone like him, it's an unbelievable achievement. And so it's great to have someone who's there in the league because it gives the league exposure. And you've seen, even with his team, his former teammates joining him, and everyone is turning their attention to MLS now because you have someone like him playing the league. So I think it's great for the league. It's great for players because again, I grew up watching him, before I became a pro. And getting the chance to share a field with someone like him, it's amazing. It was the same thing when I joined the league. Guys like Steven Gerrard, Pirlo, and guys that I grew up watching, admiring. All of a sudden playing on the same field, with them. Yeah. It's an unbelievable moment. So I mean, it's exciting. I don't think City will get to play Miami, or the chances of us playing each other again is really slim because we already played them. But again, for the rest of the league, I think it's great. It's great.
Yeah. Wouldn't be a bad deal, though, wouldn't it? Be doing a little slide tackle, maybe stealing the ball from Messi and going down, making something happen.
That'd be nice. Again, it's just it's just a surreal moment for the league and for everyone.
Yeah. Very cool. So who is the person that you grew up watching? Like, who's the guy that you said, man, I want to kind of play like that guy? Obviously, be your own guy, but that's the person you idolized growing up.
His name is Rio Ferdinand, and he captained Manchester United. He captained England, and I grew up watching him. I remember going, man, this guy is really good. And I was actually fortunate that I got to meet him in 2009 when I was in Manchester. And it was one of those things that, man, it was a really cool moment. Just someone I grew up watching and admiring, and all of a sudden it's like face to face. What a moment! But he's a guy that I looked up to a lot. Really good player. The way that he plays and really clean, and I try to pick on some of the things that he does well and kind of implement those things into my game. But I haven't really found anyone that I like as much since he retired. But he will always be the guy for me.
Yeah, I was listening to you on another I don't know if it was a podcast or where I heard you, but you talked about your passion for wanting to be more than a soccer player. You want to be involved in this community. And so talk to us about why that's so important to you, because I think it's amazing because you could just go cash a check, play some soccer, have some fun, and not necessarily have to give back. But here you are doing things like this, and you want to be involved in the St. Louis community. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, no, I've tried. I mean, since I got here last year, I've tried to kind of be in the community. I've done it a few times in a few different ways. Because I think as athletes, we're really fortunate that we get to live the life that we have. And you think of it, we have a lot of support in this city. And for me, it's a lot of dedication from the fans and for everything that they do for us. So, again, I want to be part of the community, not just, I'm here for soccer. That's why I came here. But I want to be part of the community. I want to learn about this city. I want to know what's going on. I want to be involved. Just a way to say thank you to the city and to the fans that give us so much every day. And I really do appreciate everything that they do for us. So for me, that's just my way of saying, thank you for allowing us to be here. Thank you for the support and all the amazing things that this city and these fans do for us.
Well, I know I can speak for a lot of the leaders in St. Louis and just anybody in St. Louis, but that, it's great to hear that, man, when a guy is in our community and new to our community and wants to give back. So my philosophy in life is if you take a living from a community, you got to give back to the community. And so it was great to hear that, you were in line with that, and that's why it's one of the reasons I was excited to chat with you. So let's talk about a little bit about mindset, perseverance. I looked at the games and studying you. Didn't probably start out playing as much as you wanted to, right? But you had a great attitude. You kept putting in the work, and now it seems like the last 5 of the last 7 games, something like that. You've started. You're playing. It's like, what was your attitude like? What was the culture like when nothing more as an athlete you want to do than be out there? But how did you stay committed to what you were doing and now playing as much as you're playing?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, like I said, experience, and I've been playing for a few years now, and you go through those moments. You kind of realize you have 28, 30 guys in the locker room. It's not everyone that's going to play. Only 11 guys can be there at the time, and in life, you're going to get opportunities. It's a matter of, are you prepared? Are you ready when they come? And for me, I think most of the time when players are in a position where they're not playing, the mindset is, well, why should I train harder? Because I know I'm not going to play. But that's a lie, because at some point it's a long season and it's going to get called on, and I think you're not doing yourself any favors if you're not working hard in training, if you're not putting in the work, and if you're not having a good attitude. Because at the end of the day, you have to be a good teammate regardless of your situation. And for me, that was the big piece, And everyone on the team plays a part, because even if I'm training well, that's pushing the starters and that's making them better every day in training. So I'm contributing in that way, even if I'm not playing. And that's my role. And that's, so when I wasn't playing, that was kind of my mindset. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to push the guys in front of me. And when I get the opportunity, I'm going to take it and take it well. And that's what I did. So it's tough to do that in the moment, because it hasn't been easy. There's times when I have my moments, but most of the time, I kind of switch my mindset to be in a place where I could support my teammates regardless, and work hard and make sure that I was prepared for when the opportunity came.
Yeah. And so talk more about that. I mean, I call it your roommate. Like, everybody's got a roommate, and that roommate's the guy up here talking to us in our head, right? And what did you do to silence that roommate and make him be more positive when you could have gone the other route and been negative with it?
Yeah. Again, a lot of it, I think it wasn't easy in any way, but a lot of it became a little bit easier, I should say, because of the experiences I've had playing. I've been in situations like that before, and I've seen it turn around. And because nothing is really permanent. Like, the way that teams start in the beginning of the season is not how they're going to end. There's always a lot of changes in the lineup. There's always, games, there are injuries, there are people underperforming. It's a lot of reasons. And so for me, it was a matter of, you might have doubt that you might never play, but there is a chance that you might. And for me, that chance, regardless of how small it was, it's what kept me going. And also knowing that, I've seen this situation before, and I've been in it before, and I turned it around. I've done it before, and I can do it again. And so, again, when I say experience, it's great. That's one of the instances where I think my experience of playing professionally for a few years now kicked in. And so, you have your moments where, like you said, the guy upstairs is telling you, this is not worth it. Like, why are you running extra? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You're not going to play. But you have to keep pushing yourself, because I know for a fact that everyone gets their chance, everyone gets their moment. And guys that get really disappointed are those that, when they finally get their chance, are not able to take it and take it well, because they weren't prepared.
Love it. I love that mindset, man. That's so much to learn. You can just do a podcast just on that question right there. So daily habits. So something I would see if I followed you around for the next week. What am I seeing? No miss items for you day in and day out.
Well, I mean, my life is really simple. I wake up, I get ready, I go to work, I come back.
How long are you working? Like, when you say work, how long are you doing that?
I mean, so I have to report to the facility around 9:30 every morning, but I usually get there around 8:45 to 9 a.m. And then I'm usually there till about 2 p.m.
Okay.
And so, just that. And then, I mean, a big part of it is because you realize that your body is what you work with. And so, in any way to kind of take care of that, or make sure that it's in the best possible condition. It's you do that to optimize your chances of being able to perform the next day. And I try. I mean, I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink coffee. I don't, things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just anything to give me kind of like the edge, because your body has to recover and it has to be able to perform at a higher level the next day. So my days are pretty not much goes on. Maybe in the evenings I'll go on a walk with, um, with my girlfriend and just an evening stroll and
Yeah.
to close for the day. But most of the time, just working.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Taking care of your body, man, because that's the asset. That's the asset. So, when you see or hear the words "achieving a future greater than your past," what would come to mind for you?
I mean, that's tough because again, as an athlete, I think you're always kind of in that mindset because you have to always consistently push yourself to perform, and you have to always perform better than you did the previous day because it's a competitive sport, and your best yesterday, might not be good enough for the next day because everyone else is pushing themselves in different ways, and so for me, just like I said, continue getting game minutes and I've just been better than I was the previous day, in a lot of ways. And that's measured in different ways because, like everything, like I said, with sports science, everything that we do is monitored. So like how hard I'm working, how hard I'm running, all that from the previous day I have. So if I want to be better, okay, well, maybe I got to beat those numbers the next day. Maybe the game that I had last week or this week, what can I do better to even make it a better game than last week's, and then just keep building on that. So yeah, it's in a constant competition with myself. At least that's how I see it. Because once you start competing against someone else, you kind of lose sight of who you are. Because you have to realize that everyone is unique and everyone is built differently. Because even if you look at, again, for example, all the center backs that we have on our roster, everyone's different. Everyone's playing style is different, and everyone has unique styles. And so once you start comparing yourself to someone else, you've lost the plot. Like it's when people say you are your own competition, that's true. I found that to be true a lot because if you can compete against yourself and if you can be better than you were the previous day, then I think you're doing a lot. And yeah, and at the end of the day, if your best is not good enough, but you're still achieving at your best, I think you're doing it right.
Yeah.
You're doing it right. So
that's solid.
Yeah,
So when you play a game, are you wearing those vests and they'll tell you game or practice and exactly how fast you got from point A to point B and how much running you did? And so talk to us about that. After a game or practice, what do you personally do, or what does kind of the team do to look at those analytics?
Yeah. So I mean, we have people that are in charge of that, and every session there's a number that you have to hit. So I think everyone on our team pretty much hits that every day. Again, that's just the way that our team is built. It's a really hard-working team, so no issues with that. But you can have your data. Like after every game, they send us all the data. How fast you're running, how far you ran, like how hard you decelerated. Like I'm telling you, every possible information that you could get, it's provided to you. So you can look at it. You can compare that to the previous week's game and every game is different as well because some games maybe you might be chasing the game and so it's a lot more running for you, or some game you're in control so you're not running as much because you have the ball. So you have to analyze the data based on game basis, and even in practice, each day is different because the closer you get to game day, not the load that you do in training is a little bit lower because you're getting ready for a game. While in the beginning of the week, it's harder because it's a little bit further from the game. So you take everything in context to what's going on, but you have all this information, like every information that you need. It's on there, and if you don't understand it, there's someone to explain it to you and to help you, figure it out. So Yeah, I mean, I think that's been useful as well. Just kind of looking at the numbers, and then you see where you should be and what you're doing, and if that's good enough or not, and then you adjust accordingly.
Yeah. And that's what I love about sports, man, is if you could apply that to the business world, the more analytics we have, the more data we have, the better you can be for clients, your community, whatever it is, right? And it's like, that's what I love about it is your guys' discipline to that stuff is to actually take the data, get better. If we could do that at work, take the data, practice it, get better. Get a game plan, have some clarity around it, you're going to get to the next level. So last question for you here, Josh. What's it been like, man, playing in St. Louis, the inaugural season, the fans, the atmosphere, just the noise? What's it been like in St. Louis for you?
Man, it's been really nice. Because I remember last year when I got here, we started with City 2. The first game last year, we played at school, and I remember just the place selling out. I was like, man, this is amazing. Like, well, you've not seen anything yet. Even go back to preseason last year with City 2, when we had our first preseason game, and then fans showed up to the game. I mean, with drums and like they were going the whole night. And I'm going, man, this is a preseason game, and people are into it. And like, yeah, just wait till the season starts. And I saw that during the season, and so bringing that to this year, more in a bigger stadium, my God, it's been. When you talk to opponents when they play him, like, man, this is a really tough place to play. And I think part of it is also what the atmosphere that the fans have created. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's been great, and when you have a fan base that's really dedicated like we do, and a fan base that care, that helps you do your job. And I think that motivates us a lot. Every day we go out there to perform, as a way to say again thank you and to reward the fans and ourselves, for them for coming to the game, and for us for the hard work happening through. So it's been amazing so far, and again, I can't thank the fans enough for the environment that they've created for us.
Well, it's been awesome, man. Carolyn Kendall, I know, and the Taylor family and all the ownership group, they've done a phenomenal job with the stadium, just the energy down there. It's been phenomenal, man. It's cool to drive around town.
Yeah, they've built something really special, and I think that's because most ownership groups are really hands off, and I think when we see them quite a bit, they're there and they wanted to do this, for the community as well. So that's been really amazing, and you can see in the way that they relate to the city and they relate to the team and everything that they do. And I mean, the facilities and everything, and the culture that they build around the club, it's unbelievable.
First class. Well, Josh, it's been awesome having you, man. Finish strong this season. Keep playing well. I know my boys will continue rooting for you and the team, and my wife and I, and on behalf of the city, man, thanks for what you guys are doing. It's been awesome, and thanks for being on the Circuit of Success.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Hope to catch up with you again soon.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care.